Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Mech Merlin live stream. Today is Magical Build Stream Day, and we are building another customer board. Let's see, just to show you guys. If you were here on my Thursday stream, is it muted? No, it's not. Zujo says muted. It's not muted. Maybe you're muted, but here we go. This is the BDN9. If you guys tuned in on Thursday, you've probably seen some of this already. I did some build prep. I've taped all of the resistors onto the PCB just so I can get ready to solder it right now. But before I do that, answering the most important question of the day, what is Mech Merlin drinking? Honest Tea Organic Honey Green Tea. Very cool, very cool. Let's see, Sweden says you look like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Ooh, if only I was actually white. Right, let's see who is here today anyway. Let me scroll through the chat. I see a Zujo, a Sweden's, just another dude. There we go. A few other people, and XS Tech. Thanks guys for joining in. Today's probably going to be a shorter stream just because it is obviously a much smaller board than I'm used to doing. Simply just a 3x3. 3x3. It's actually going to be a 7-key keyboard with 2 rotary knobs attached. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, let's say, what are we... Actually, let's talk a little bit more about this board. Let's talk a little bit more. Before that, let's turn on some sweet tunes. Here we go. Here we go. All right. The BDN9 is a macro pad from Keebio, one of my sponsors actually. He's also a QMK collaborator, going by the name of Danny or Baking Pie. As you can see, this is a very, very inexpensive kit. $12.99, and you pretty much get the PCB and the plates. See, of course, if you want to actually make this work, you need to add a Pro Micro for $7.99, or any of the other options here, which is an Elite C for about $18, and I guess he doesn't have the Proton C here quite yet. You also can add rotary encoders for $2 each. So all in all, this is more like a $20–25 build, excluding keycaps, of course. That's what it looks like with keycaps on it and the rotary knobs. Look at that, look at that. But overall, very inexpensive. And if you use discount code wizardhat, you can get up to 15% off this entire kit. Unfortunately, he is completely sold out. These go really, really quick. But yeah, just to recap, I've taped all of the resistors on so I can completely solder them. What else came in the kit? Let's see. We've got the Pro Micro right there. You've got these. Let's see, Sweden says, what the heck is rotary knob for? You can use it for volume, brightness, workspace changing, or whatever you can think of. The Just Another Dude says, I just ordered my first keyboard and macropad PCBs. Looking forward to my first time soldering something as well. Good luck and definitely have fun. Whatever you program it for, says Ducks on Quack. Whatever you want it for. Yeah, a lot of boards, especially the Satisfaction 75, has a bunch of features you can do the rotary knob for, but in reality, I've only ever used it for volume. Here, let's see what else. Here we go. What else came with this? Here are the actual rotary knobs. As you can see, that rotary knobs, along with, I guess, the keycaps for the rotary knob. And we have 9 205G0 lubed creams. This is actually the same customer who I built the KBD8X for, along with the KBD67. So it's been like pretty much the same switches all in all. Alright. We can actually get started pretty quick here. Whew. Let's put this all away. Yeah, so the good thing about Keebio is you're not completely left in the dark about how to do this. Here, let me show you. They have a friendly little build guide. Friendly little build guide, all on his Keebio documentation page. Gives you like from step 1, solder components, all in all. So fairly simple to follow, hopefully. We'll see. We shall see. Oops. Let's see. Let's see. Alright. We will just go through with this. See, Sweden says, exclamation point keyboard. Yes, this is the ID80, which I built 2 weeks ago. Probably one of the cheapest and lightest 75% I have ever built on stream, and coincidentally with my favorite layout. So I will be using this for quite some time. We'll see. Only thing I don't like about it is its acoustics. It's really rattly, and yeah, it doesn't sound good when I type on it. I have been considering getting the Polaris 75, which is a top mount variant of this board and supposedly sounds nicer. Pizza 4 says, sup Merlin, hello to you too. Arbaz, I see you subscribing. Thank you so much for all your support. See, I see a Deep Murky, Swidens, and Mekiran has also followed. Have I put foam in it? Yes, I have. And unfortunately, it still doesn't sound very good. Right, let's get to soldering, boys. Pardon me as I turn on my fume extractor. It's gonna sound like a vacuum cleaner just went off. There we go. And once again, this is a customer build, but it is also a build that I will do for myself at some time in the future, if I can ever find it in stock. I was quite jealous when this customer was like, hey Merlin, can you build this for me? I'm like, sure, let me know. And he told me that it was in stock, hopped on the website, was already sold out by the time I saw it, so I was like, shoots. This seems like a fun practice build. If you go through the actual build guide right here, you'll see that it's got some surface mount soldering in place. So sure, it can be called practice, but I think it might be a little bit more advanced. Not something someone completely new to soldering should attempt, in my opinion. What's so special about this board? It's got rotary knobs, pretty much. It's really the only thing that's really special about it, I'd say. Other than that, it's just a regular 3x3 macro pad. QMK compatible, of course, especially since it is from Keebio store, who is another fellow QMK collaborator. Alright. Looking forward to playing with QMK if parts ever arrive for the discipline. Oh yeah, that's a fun board to build. Actually, not so fun for me, to be honest. Let's get rid of all this tape. Do a better job here. Sweden says, what are you doing? I am soldering. Soldering a board. Put the tape on a little too tight here. Did you join the Primus GB? Yes, I did. Fortunately, I think I'm going to back out on it. Okay, I did not bend that resistor very well. Let me rebend it. There we go. Much better. All right. Very cool. Looks like I got one more resistor to do, which I will do right now. Let's see, Hellweaver says, if I want to get in touch with you, what would be the best way apart from talking to you live stream? If you look at the bottom in the information section of the stream, you'll see that I have a few links to my Discord server and a few ways to contact me, actually. See, Zujo says I backed out as well. See, where's the last one? Oh, here it is. Right there. Last resistor, hooray. So all of these resistors are primarily for the LEDs, right? Like, which he did not even send me. But at some point, he may want to add LEDs. I figure might as well solder them in right now and not worry about it later, right? Oops. Let's actually snip off all of these extra leads because they're getting in my way. Let me get my flush cutter. Oh well. Here we go. So if you guys are building this, let's turn those off for now. If you guys are building this, you may want to save all of these leads, and I'll show you in a bit why you might want to do that. All right, here we go. Solder in the final resistor. What's your background music playlist? Can you share it? It is, I just run stuff on Epidemic Sound. All right. I think we are good. All right. All the resistors are in. Let's see. What do we need to do next here? What do we need to do next? It is... Let's see, we've soldered... Here we go. Soldered all that. What's next? Ah, put on the RGB LEDs. Okay, we can do that. Shouldn't be too difficult, right? Okay, let's do this. Did he even include RGB LEDs? Yes, he did. Alright, these are super tiny. Hopefully I can do this correctly. Okay, which way do they go? Which way do you go? Based on the diagram, you are supposed to go... Ah, perfect. Okay. It's not too difficult. Yeah, this is completely optionary. It's not like you have to build it with these. I figure I'll just put as much on as I can, make it easier. Okay. I have tinned some of the sides, so now I should be able to put on these SMDs. Whew. It's difficult stuff here. I'd say this is one of my least favorite things to do for a build, SMD work. But it is what it is. I think the worst part of it is trying to keep it straight. Because if you don't keep it straight, it'll be difficult. Here, let's do it like this. Well, that didn't work. Oh man, yeah. Super tiny. And this is meant to be for the underglow, so we could technically just do this at a later time. Oh my gosh. I think what's happening is my solder pads are a little too tall, so let me melt them down a bit. There we go. Yep, too tall. Too tall. Okay. Alright, let's try this. Should get some helping hands. Yeah. I personally don't think that the helping hands help me with something this small. Because I've tried. Didn't work for me. There we go. Got it. Alright, we got one on. Next up. Just make sure there's a full contact there. Go. Sometimes I use a big blob of blue tack to hold boards in place while I'm working. It's one way to do it. I think the most difficult part of this is getting that one side down, and then once it's soldered down, then you're all good. Well, let's see. There we go. I got that down, but now it's crooked. Doesn't really help me there. Gotta redo that. Got it. The thing about these RGB LEDs is that they are connected in series. So if I don't get all of them on, or at least the first one in the series on, 2, 3, and 4 won't turn on either. And as you can see, what I have right now is just the 2 center ones. So even if these were soldered on perfectly and I stopped there, RGB wouldn't work. Okay. 2 out of 4. At least we're half done with it. Next one. Of course, the real test is to see if any of these turn on. Alright. I think that's good. Did you ever end up getting a Primus? Seems to be the most popular question. You seem quite the popular one, says Zujo. Aww. You flatter me. Man, it's ridiculous. Did you guys know that there's actually through-hole RGB? The ID80 made you think about it, yeah? 75% is one of my favorite layouts. Oh man, that one wasn't done very well actually. Let's see. Well, hopefully this works later. If not, that's gonna suck. Go. Go. I think these corner ones are the more difficult ones. They fall off so easily. Let's just pat on a little bit more solder there. Alright. A little more over here. Whew. Would using some flux make SMD soldering easier? Of course. Absolutely. Flux makes everything easier. If you guys remember my discipline build, my discipline 65 build, in order to do the USB-C, I had to use flux. Whew. Difficult. You're waiting for your flux pen to arrive so you can do exactly that part. As I was saying earlier, this is not exactly the simplest of kits to do because of the surface mounted diodes, or I mean like the surface mounted LEDs. The last thing before you get to the switches. Are you using a Pro Micro or an Elite C? I think the customer sent me a Pro Micro. Alright. I think I got it. Alright. There it is. Okay, what's next? Oh, oof, look, there's a MOSFET to this as well. This is going to be exciting. Not. Okay, let's tin the MOSFET. Okay. See, where did they even send me a MOSFET? Oh, I think I see it. Oh shoot, yeah, that's gonna be tiny. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I might have to do some debugging later, depending how I install this. But at the very least, the rotary knob and the actual switches will all still work. All I'm adding right now is the lighting. So the MOSFET is used for backlighting, and the RGB SMDs were all used for underglow. All of this is completely optional for this build. Yeah, like the customer didn't even send me LEDs, so I'm kind of like, okay, well, I'll put them on anyway, just in case, sometime in the future. There we go. We got it. This is gonna be even worse to solder on. Oof. Okay. That's way too tiny. Hellweaver, thank you for your bits. Thank you for your support. Oh, MOSFET. Oh, MOSFET. Why are you so tiny? You're not gonna be fun. It's actually easier to hold than the RGB LEDs. So I should be fine. I think I need more solder there. Hold on. More solder on the LED. There it is. Okay. Come on, little MOSFET. Listen to me and stay put. Keep dropping it. Shoots. I just keep dropping this thing. Yes, I got it. Hellway vs. BRB, putting you on the big screen now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let it be known that I am not going to want to solder any more MOSFETs in the future. This is just, oh my god. It's too tiny. Too tiny. It's not like I can even test it anyway. It's not like I can test it because I don't have LEDs. Alright, it's on. Nice moon on your head, yeah. It's one of the wizard symbols of power. Alright, let's see what's next. After the MOSFET, solder the reset button. Okay, there we go. That should be easy. Reset button should be easy, easier than everything I've done so far. Okay, where does that go? It goes on this side. It's pretty cool that there's a reset button, because Pro Micros typically don't have a reset button. Come on. Oh, my wife is mentioning to me that she wants to tell me something. Hold up, guys. I'm back. Alright, let's see. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were soldering in a reset switch. Good on Mr. Keebio for including one of these. Is Merlin using an invisibility spell? Yes, I was. Surprise, surprise. Pro Micro slogan should be "at least we exist." You know, Pro Micros would be so much nicer if they had a better bootloader on it. Like the Katarina bootloader is just absolutely garbage. It's given us so many problems in the past. If they used at least like the regular Atmel one, things would be better. And for those of you who want to know more about that, the bootloader is basically what allows your board to boot, or your Atmega 32U4 to boot. Without it, you couldn't even flash your board. So the Katarina bootloader, which is present on all Pro Micros, the main issue with it is that it doesn't protect against an overly large firmware file. So you could flash a file that's really big and you would corrupt the bootloader, essentially making it so that you couldn't ever flash your board again unless you fixed that bootloader. There we go. Reset switch. So resetting the board wouldn't work. Yeah, would not work at all. There we go. Okay, what's next? What's next is solder Pro Micro header pins. Okay. Alright, so here's the thing. Pro Micros are one of the worst breakout boards for Atmega 32U4. They fail quite frequently. In fact, I have a customer right now who I'm building a board for, and the Pro Micros he sent me were all dead on arrival. So the ones that I tried to replace it with from Amazon also came dead on arrival, and now I'm waiting for a third batch. So hopefully this one right here, the one that the customer sent me, is not dead. We'll see. And you know, it's always very unfortunate once you solder them and you realize that it's dead. It's a pain just to desolder this entire thing. So in order to prevent that, what we are going to do is we are going to actually use what I call Pro Micro hot swap sockets, which are also sold on Keebio. Here we go. With these little strings right there. Basically, you solder these sockets on, and anytime your Pro Micro dies, or if you want to upgrade it to a Proton C or an Elite C, you just have to pry it off. Just have to figure out which way it goes before I do any of this. Which way does this go? See, good thing the PCB is labeled, because then I can just match it up. So raw is on the left, so that means this guy goes like that. Raw and raw. Perfect. Okay, goes like that. So that means the pins have to go in this way as well. Let's do some counting. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Solder in 12 of these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh man, I lost count already. Let's just snip it off right there. We'll add on more as necessary. Yep. No, this is exact. Perfect. I did that correctly that time. Awesome. Okay. Here we go. I just gotta solder it. Let's turn on my fume extractor again. Realize I've been forgetting to turn it on. Alright. Alright, see, so these are just peel away ones. So once you're done, you literally peel away the plastic. And now you have sockets all the way through, just like that. Just like that. Alright, let's do the other side. See, the year is 2052. 13% of all trash in the ocean are dead pro micros. I sure hope not. Go. So the customer did not actually request this. I'm just doing this because it, you know, it's insurance on my part as well. If anything goes wrong, it's a lot easier for me to fix. Are those sockets for the micro? Yes, they are. These only work for the Pro Micro. And, you know, It doesn't work with the socket that the Pro Micro comes with. I'll show you in a bit. You have to make your own sockets. Or not your own sockets, but your own pins, I mean. Got one last one to solder. Alright. All soldered. Let me just fix it up. Alright. Would a Milmax 24-pin dip work for Proton C? I don't think so. I think the holes are way too small. There we go. So now we've got sockets. And the Pro Micro will just go straight on, just like that. And we'll be good. Here, let's take care of that. Turn off all of my equipment again. And this is what I was talking about, saving all of these pins for earlier. If you guys remember, these are all the stuff I snipped off from the resistors. We will use those as the pins for the Pro Micro. Why? Because these are actually the only pins that will work. You can't use anything that came with the kit. Like, I wish there was a better solution, but this is the best way to do it. There we go. Alright, we have soldered every single connection here, but since this is a Pro Micro, I don't think we're actually using all the pins. So the only way to verify that is to look at the code. Let me just look at the code here. Yeah, this is gonna save me on some of the soldering. Here, guys. Let's go look at Keebio. Keebio, BDN9. What is this? Is this the Rev 2? Good question. I'm assuming this is the Rev 1. Config.h looks like it's using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pins, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, it's only using 13 pins. Backlight is B5, so that's 14. And RGB is D3, 15. Okay, we can figure this out. Let's see. What's different between Rev 2 and Rev 1? Oh, Rev 2 looks like it's a... I think it's a different microcontroller. Let's see, A8, B3, A10, yep, those are not Pro Micros. Rev 2 is an ARM chip. So this is most definitely Rev 1. Okay, we can do this. So looking at this, we should only solder these pins and we should be good. those pins, and of course the ground and the reset, all of that good stuff. So I'm actually going to pull out a Pro Micro reference. Pro Micro pin out, just so we can take a look at that. It's perfect. Very good. That's going to be my reference at this point. Only solder the pins that are actually being used, and it will also make the entire board easier to take apart when you need to. I realize I haven't even drank much of my drink quite yet, so here we go. Alright. Let's solder in at least the ground and the reset and the VCC. Like, these are, no matter what pins are used, these ones are absolutely required. Reset and VCC. Right, looks good, looks good. What else? Let's solder in the ground, the two grounds on the other side, and we should be good. And that's not going through. Let's try a different pin. There we go. Got it. Perfect. Okay. These are all the ones that are absolutely necessary. Okay. Let's see, I want D2, D4, F4. D2, where's D4? And F4. And just so you guys can see what I'm looking at, I'm basically looking at this diagram and I'm only putting pins in where the firmware tells me that there should be pins. This way I can optimize the build, quote unquote. Macro pad, I'm feeling it. Alright, let's see what else. Mabuhay, says Jack Static. Thank you for subscribing, man. Fellow Filipino. Go. E6, B4, B2. Kind of switches we're getting on this thing. Creams, actually. These are leftover switches from the KBD8X that I built for the same customer. He actually didn't send me any switches for this, so when I was gonna build it, I was like, hey man, what switches do you want on this? Then I'm like, and then he was like, oh, were there any extras from the KBD8X? And I'm like, actually, there were quite a few. I'm just gonna solder this because all of the pins are kind of in my way right now. Always nice to use leftovers, yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that even with these sockets, the more pins that are soldered in, it makes it more difficult to like pry it off. So I figured I should just solder in the pins that are being used. Okay. Start snipping a few more off. Give myself more room here. Yay. Looking good. Looking good. snip off a few more. Okay. Yay, 3 more. Okay. Yay. Okay. Let's see, what other pins do we need? I need the E6 pin. 1, 2, 3, okay. E6 pin. All right. Okay. I need D1 and F5 next. D1 and F5. Ground, ground. It's almost like it's gonna end up using all the pins anyway. Where's that D0 that I need? D0 is... oh boy. Okay, I've got all the rotary stuff and the switches. What's next is B5 for backlight. Where's that B5? Ah. Okay. B5 for a backlight. And last but not the least, RGB is D3. Right, D3. Where are you at? D3. Ah, that very top one. Okay. Alright, so yeah, pretty much almost all the pins. All the pins except for 1, 2, 3. All but 3 pins. All but 3 pins. That's fine. That still will save us time and energy if anything goes wrong. That last pin, and we'll have all the pins of the microcontroller in. Whew. One thing I don't like about microcontrollers is that the pin spacing is so small. The likelihood of bridging pins together is actually very high. So after I do this last cut, we need to examine all of our pins, make sure nothing looks like it's bridging. Generally speaking, I'm pretty good at making sure it doesn't, but you never know. No, mistakes can happen. Yeah, so we need to check bridging on the actual microcontroller and on my soldering job at the bottom. Okay, some of them don't look completely conical, so that's another thing that I want to check. Everything looks good. Pro Micro's on. If we find that there's something wrong with the Pro Micro, all we need to do is pry this off with like a flathead or something. Maybe not quite a big flathead, but something smaller, just so we don't damage too many things. Here, let me fix up some of my soldering here. Oh wait, that's not a thing. That's just me not clipping it properly. There we go, much better. Okay, I think we are ready to start putting on switches. Let's see what the manual says. The manual says, oh, I closed it by accident. BDN9 Keebio build guide, the manual says the next thing we want to do after putting in the Pro Micro is to put on the rotary knobs. Okay, we can do that. We can put on the rotary knobs. Hold on. I'm just looking at the guide here. There might be something off. Okay, looking at the guide here. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. I think I did a pretty big screw up. Here we go. Let's go through this. Check it out, guys. I think I might have messed it up a little bit. Actually, no, wait. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, guys. Check it out. Check it out. I think I screwed this up. Look. The Pro Micro is supposed to go on the other side. And I got mixed up by the solder mask. Oops. Here, let's see. There we go. Let me take it off. It's supposed to go on the other side. Oh no. Okay, this is still salvageable. Let's see if I can pry it off here. Okay, here, let me show you guys what happened. I was not anticipating it to go upside down like what's showing up here. So even though I did line it up correctly, this board would still work, just that we wouldn't be able to put any of the center ones in. So shoot, I'm gonna have to do this upside down. Hold on. Did that to my split Reus build, still in the process of repairing. Gotta jump a few of the pins and work some of the firmware. Well, the firmware will still work on this, I just have to reverse it. Come on. the very least, at least I have all the pins in the microcontroller already. So if I can just reverse the sockets, will be good. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna desolder all the sockets and just put new ones on. It's gonna take forever if I want to do it one by one. So yeah, probably once I pry it off, we should be good. Here, come on, pry off. There we go. Little by little is coming off. Whew. There it is. Came off. Okay. I bent one of the pins, so let me bend that back properly. Here we go. We now have a Pro Micro that has all the pins on it. Okay, there it is. So what we need to do is actually remove all of these sockets. This should actually go pretty quick. Hold on. Let me grab my desoldering gun. Because the way it's supposed to go, this Pro Micro. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to do this one too, I guess. Ah, okay, that's annoying. It was supposed to go upside down like that. Okay, that is very annoying. But we can do that later. We can do that later. Let's just do this. I'm using an FR300, Hacko FR300. Basically, this has saved me so many times. I'm able to desolder guns. I mean, desolder boards super quick with this. So hopefully the same can be said about this. Anoyo says, I just got my ID80 in the mail. Did you end up trying things to make it sound a bit better? Yes, I put foam in it. It sounds marginally better, but it is a $120 board. Do not expect it to sound like a more expensive board. Come on. There we go. Let's do it like that. Nope. There we go. Let's do this. Really want one of those, especially since I like soldering, but damn, it's vicious on the wallet. Think of it as like another keyboard, actually. And it's a keyboard that allows you to make other keyboards. I figured at the rate that I was doing things, this saved me so much time. Oh, that was hot. I touched the bottom of the socket. Not a good idea. Okay, let's see, that bottom ones are going to be difficult to remove. This might be a little too fat. Okay. And if I did this correct, I should just be able to push out all of these things. Let's see, let's just use my bottle cap for my tea. Coming out, come out, come out. Yeah, they look desoldered. Not exactly coming out. Okay, they're coming out slowly. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can find something that's more durable to push it out with. Whew. Those are in pretty tight, holy cow. Okay. Oh, I see what happened. I did desolder it, but the lead itself is still really, really fat because of the excess solder shoots. Okay. That's why it's not coming out. I'm actually gonna have to snip them out. Shoots. Okay. Let's see how many I can push out like this. I hate pro micro builds. Okay. Feel it coming out, it's just taking a lot of effort. Oh, there we go. One came out. One came out. Actually, I'm almost thinking maybe it's better if I just buy another one for the customer, because it's going to take me for a long, long time. Gonna resocket? Yeah, I'm gonna have to resocket it. But at this point, what's happening is that each of the legs have too much solder on them. So even though they are desoldered, because I can feel them wobble, I can't exactly push them out. What I'm gonna have to do is probably use a soldering iron and try to melt off each of the excess solder as I push it out, which may not actually be worth my time. So I'm thinking, because these kits are only 12 bucks, I'm gonna have to just buy one for the customer again, just to be safe, because this is gonna take probably if I were to work on this, I'd imagine I'd go for another 2 hours before I even got to the switches, which I don't necessarily want to do because it's Saturday and I have stuff to do. So let's see. Let me try and figure out this for another, let's see, 5 more minutes. And if I can't get one to come out very easily, we'll buy another one for the customer. There we go. That one came out too. Okay. Yeah, so I can use this to do it. Let's see. What are my chances? Here, so it doesn't flick at me, I'm gonna just pull it off like this. Oh boy. Oh well. Guys, you might have witnessed the first customer board I have ruined. Well, not ruined, but we'll have to rebuy. There we go. It's coming loose. It's coming loose. There we go. Let's try another one. Oh. You can feel it wobble, it's just not coming out. Alright, I feel like I'm just like destroying them. And if I destroy them, the more that they're not gonna come out. Actually, hold on. What if I cut the legs? Here, let's cut the legs and let's hope for the better. I'm gonna look away so it doesn't hit me in the eye. I'm just snipping off all the legs here, so hopefully they'll just come right out. Slados that shows us lowly key mortals that you are still human. Okay, did that seem to help? Did they come out easier? Okay, yeah, this is not worth my time. Yeah, I got 4 out. 4 out in the last 20 minutes. That is, yeah. Alright, what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna rebuy this board for the customer. It's only $12.99. That should be fine. What's gonna hurt me the most though is resoldering all these RGB LEDs. So that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck big time. I will, however, keep this Pro Micro since I've already socketed it. So I should be good on that front. So let's see, where was that? Here we go. I will keep it in here. And whenever this board comes back in stock, which I believe should be in the next 2 weeks, I'll just buy another one. You hate those LEDs. Yeah, I know, right? At this point, I won't even know if I did them correctly. Dang. They look correct, but you just never know, because the thing with RGB LEDs, if you take too long to solder them, sometimes the heat can damage them as well. So you have to be quick. Not sure if you guys noticed, but I literally was not using solder and the soldering iron together. I was just like tapping it with the soldering iron just to be sure. But I guess I will never know at this point. Oh well. Okay, well, here. I'm just gonna show you guys, you know, since it's still a bit early, quote unquote early. I'll just show you guys what this is supposed to look like without any solder. Picked up some solder paste because I can't. Yeah, I find sometimes like the solder paste gets in the way of things. So let's see. Okay. So based on that, the way this is supposed to look like, here, just solder that on. Well, we're not going to solder anything on. We're just mocking this up just because we can, so people know what it's supposed to look like. This is without any solder at all. Let's see. Benjamin Kinsman has subscribed. Thank you, man. Thanks for subscribing. Despite me messing this one up. There we go. Let's grab some switches. Some switches. Go. Just mocking this up, not gonna solder any of this. I'm also not gonna put in all the switches, but just showing you guys what it can potentially look like. Just cause. There you go. It's gonna look like that, and then you can add in these knobs right there. Like so. All these knobs will look like that. So you can turn them clockwise, counterclockwise, or you can also press them, and that's a different function as well. Do that. Oops, I just pushed it right through. But yeah, in QMK, you can program this to do whatever you want. For me, I always like to do volume. On a BDN9, because there's two of them, I've always wondered what I would do the second one for. Probably brightness, or maybe, you know, this is volume 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10, who knows? But in terms of what to do when it's like being pressed, that's something I've never quite figured out. Maybe mute. Press it for mute, press it to turn back on, and then change volume. Who knows? But yeah. right now this kit won't be done. I'll probably build this on a Sunday night. I'll probably pre-build it on a Thursday, and then build it up on a Sunday night, so you guys can all see. But for the time being, this build will have to be postponed. Should do one as mic volume and one as speaker volume. That's actually a good idea. It's a very good idea. With mutes on each press. That's a very, very good idea. When I finally get my own BDN9, that might be something that I do. Might be something that I do. But yeah, here we go. Let's see, it's 3:20. Let's see, just a recap of what the stream was all about. In this stream, I attempted to build a customer's BDN9. What happened was that even though I soldered the Pro Micro to have the correct pinouts, apparently they were supposed to go upside down, so I soldered it onto the wrong side. The problem right now is that all of the sockets that I installed are all desoldered and they wiggle, but I can't quite get them out. And to be honest, I don't want to spend the next 2 hours trying to get them out. So instead of doing that, it will be a better use of my time if I just buy another one of these. These are only $12.99 from Keebio. And if you use discount codes such as my own, wizardhat, you can get up to 15% off. I will have to use another streamer's discount code because it's not kosher to use my own for the things that I buy. So yeah, we will do that as soon as these restock, which supposedly is in 2 to 3 weeks. We'll see. Hopefully. We'll see. Alright guys, let's see. My next stream should be tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, every Sunday evening actually, I do a upcoming and expiring group buy stream. It's basically just a new stream, and it just covers all ending and starting group buys for the following week. If that's the kind of information that you guys find useful, definitely tune in tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. PST. Alright folks, hope you have a good rest of your Saturday, and I will see you when I see you. Goodbye now.